him, his personal journey with God, his work with music, the substance, the creativity, the imaginations that led to some of the composition. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please jam your hands together as I welcome to the stage the Nnukwummanwu himself, the music director of St. Michael Catholic Parish, Amakohia, our own choir master, music director, having served across the length and breadth of this nation in different musical capacities. We now have the pleasure of hearing directly from him. Sir, you are welcome. A round of applause once again.
Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know how I'm going to be as brief as required. I'll try because we've been trained to be brief in all we do. So I will just quickly and briefly narrate my journey. Like it's been said within the profile reading, I began at 9 years. I was 9 years when I joined the choir, and since then it has been several years of further development in sacred music. And I've gained knowledge to also put some of my experiences down in music form that they are intended to evangelize people of God. My first hymn was composed in 1986, Tony Ajuruchi. And by the title of that song is all about my conviction that the Eucharist is our source of life, and that the Eucharist also, in its entirety, reveals us, regenerates us, makes us anew, and gives us hope of eternity. That's a summary of that hymn. What inspired me to write was my passion for the Eucharist. That was what inspired me to write that song. And the next song I wrote was Zanom Diwenu. That hymn was inspired by my innermost feelings of one, disappointment when I had an issue with my life development. I had an issue when I was growing up as a youth, and at that point it seemed that the world was crushing on me. I looked left, right, east, west, north, and I didn't see where to find hope. It was like my life was gone. I was wrestling between my faith in God and doubt. These two phenomena were wrestling in me, struggling. Lose faith, lose hope. No, don't. So in order to ask God to help me, I cried unto Him and sang that song. It's a song many of us hear in the church, but you don't know that it's my composition. Biya zahamoku onye wemu, biya zahamoku onye keremo, biya zahamoku chukwu nna mo, biko nna chetakwa wikereke. Because at that point I thought that God had abandoned me. So I cried unto Him with that song. And luckily also, He answered me in His way and changed my life history. You know, God's time is not our time. His time is not like ours. So His time is always so elastic. So the answer He gave me in that my request is also what we are seeing today, that He has answered me. Okay. The next song that I want to talk about is the one I composed in 1998. Kaipo Isiala. That song came up to me. I was inspired to write that song. There was one morning we were outside our compound. I was there. My elder brother Emma was there with me. My brother-in-law Clement was there with me, and a few others. I think that my brother Ambo also was there. It was raining. The rain was so intense, and thunder was also doing his work. So I could, I saw the mightiness of God. God's might was done on me with that thunder and the rains coming their quiet volume. So what came to me, it was like a trance. I visualized the God's presence, His sacredness. So what came to me was venerate Him, reverence God. And that song came, that reference, that refrain of this song you're talking about came as Kaibisiala. So I kept singing that. I sang it for a long time. That refrain, I sang it for a long time. Kaibisiala. It took me several months before the body of that song came. I did the verses of that song. So I was what led to that song, Kaibisiala. Anytime it is sung, I have this nostalgic experience of what I saw at that time. So if you want to really reverence God, if you want to show God worship that we are called to do, use that song and you will feel His awesomeness, you feel God. We'll leave that on that. Then the last one I want to talk about is one song that touched my family's life. What Marvels. What Marvels. I composed that song in 2008. That song was done that time. And the song was a song that through which God gave us an answer to requests we were making. My family, my wife, and myself were making. That time there was only two of us. After our wedding, we normally every couple will begin to expect that the miracle of the baby comes immediately. So we are also asking God, praying for that blessing, So two things happened within that time of the prayer and the expectation of a baby. And whenever I remember that, I really feel so humbled. There's a practice that is in my home. Before we had children, I and my wife, we normally do adoration in my house, Father. We do adoration. I mimic my mom. My mother always do that when she was alive. You see, my mother, she'll begin to recite from what the priest does till the divine praises is done in adoration. She will do it. Sometimes she will start saying mass as like she is a priest. So I got that from her, and I was doing that when I got married. Every evening before we sleep, we would do rendition in my room, my room. Then we would do it. And that faithful day, we had finished doing adoration for the day, and we saw the three crucifixes appearing by our window. Three. So I didn't understand that. My nephew was with us. John Leo, you're here. What's Mama? Are you here? Stand up. He was with us in Abuja that time. In Abuja, he was there with us. So I called him. I called my elder brother and everything. I called him. I told him that, can they come out and see what I'm seeing in the sky? He said nothing. He didn't say anything at all. So if you leave that my room, you won't see. It was in the sky. But if you leave our room, you will not see the three crucifixes. So I went out to the compound. I didn't see it again. I came back. So it was sometime I came, like they called Samuel. I came sometime, and I realized that what I was seeing was not for everybody. It was for me and my family. So I ordered that. But before I ordered, I asked John Leo to film that. He did, but didn't appear. So I ordered that we re-venerate again. We do another adoration. So we completed that. But then I served as a priest, so I was doing all those things. So we finished it. It was then that it could appear on the phone. And that was the end. So I called my parish priest and told him, and some of my friends who are priests in Abuja, And what they told me was that was a sign of covenant and a sign of victory, that God has answered your prayers. I didn't understand what the prayers that God answered. I didn't know. So, known to us that He had already given us an answer to that prayer we were doing through that. So, it was that same month that I composed What Marvels the Lord worked for me without knowing the blessing God has given us. So, I thanked Him in advance. It was an advance thanks to God, without knowing that the prayers we have been making, He has already answered. It was a month after that my wife was seen to be pregnant with our precious baby, Tony Ajuruchi. That's the history behind that composition. So I wouldn't narrate all. Like if all my hymns, none of them was composed because I wanted to compose some. No, they were all inspired. All my songs, and it takes me time to finish a song. It may come with just a refrain. It may come with a chorus or with a verse. And they developed over time. That is why I've been praying for this day. Each year I want to do it to not work. That thank God this year it has worked. It took me just between July and now to accomplish this. I didn't want that spirit to die off. So when I said, wait, I said, no. Now it has come. Very burning spirit. I told a vicar that was doing this, and he said, go ahead. So that is how my journey in the competition is. So all my songs are composed with inspiration. And I urge you to really listen to some of them. Few of them are on the tape. And I intend to be doing the recording of the songs in this booklet. Maybe every 2 months I will roll out one that way, so that all the songs will be on tape. You have the privilege to listen to them and get inspired as well. They're going to give you some inspirations, honestly, if you listen to them. And also we have plans to also stream it on the internet, with time, so that you can also have internet access to them. Thank you very much.